Do you know what it takes to achieve financial freedom? If you don't have income-producing assets, your 9-to-5 has too much control over your life. Growing up in Chicago, I always dreamed of going to the NFL to make millions. I was an all-state football player with scholarship offers from all over the country. I decided to stay close to home and play for Western Illinois University. But at the end of my college career, my plans to play professional football didn't happen. Football was the only thing I knew and the only career path that I wanted to take. And by not having any backup plans, I decided to go into the family business and become a Chicago police officer, following in the footsteps of my parents and brother. Although being a police officer gave me steady income and benefits, one fateful night during my rookie year changed my perspective. My partner and I came across a teenage curfew violator that we wanted to take home for safety during our shift. Right before we were putting him in our car, gunfire was exchanged. My partner and I wasn't hurt, but during this incident, we found out that there may be a possibility that an innocent bystander might have been shot by one of the bullets that came from his gun. And in an instant, my entire life flashed before me. What if my career in law enforcement was over? How will I take care of my family? How will we pay our bills? Will my wife now have to get a second job? What's next? Man, thank God no one was hurt. But at that very moment, I knew immediately that I could never count on my 9-to-5 job as my main source of income. Shortly after this incident, I took a break from work and took a trip to visit one of my friends who actually made it to the NFL. And upon arriving at his house, I was blown away. It was another way of life that I've never seen before. A gated community, big houses, well-manicured lawns. And I kept thinking to myself, this is the life that I wanted. During this visit, I went to dinner at a steakhouse with my friend and a couple of his teammates in the NFL. And on the way to the restaurant, I'm not gonna lie, I got nervous. They could afford an expensive steak dinner, but the prices were probably out of my budget. And in the back of my mind, that's all I could think about. What if I can't afford anything on the menu? My friend said, don't worry about it, Jay. I got you. But I'm not the type of guy who doesn't pay his own way. It really got to me that I had to limit myself by the prices on the menu. And I thought, never again will I limit myself in life. I deserve the best. Man, my wife deserves the best. And we wanted to build a life that didn't limit us financially. That's when I came up with the mindset of living life on the left side of the menu, where I did not count the cost on the right side. That's when my $1 million mindset set in, and I decided to invest in real estate with my wife. I started to research real estate because growing up, I remember people in my neighborhood who owned real estate, drove a certain kind of car, and lived a better life. So I went and looked at 77 properties. That's right, 77 properties before purchasing my first one. I wrote down all of my debt from my house note to the smallest bills, added the total number of our debt, and chose a property that would take care of our lifestyle. I like to say I bought a building for every bill that I had, so that if anything ever jeopardized my salary on a job as a police officer again, we could still maintain our lifestyle. And with loans that were available from the police department, along with money they gave us for uniform allowances, I purchased a 4-unit apartment building, only having to put 10% down, and that began the start of the real estate journey. From there, I refinanced that building, pulled the money out, and purchased a 6-unit building, all by the age of 23. My wife, Camilla, and I then purchased a church that became available and opened up a child care center. The center only started off with 2 kids, but became so successful, and now we own and operate multiple sites throughout Chicago. We also started to invest in more rental properties that grew over the years and helped sustain the lifestyle that we always dreamed of. No more worrying about the cost of things. When we take family vacations, we don't look at the cost of things. We are blessed to go wherever we want to go without any financial limitations. We now have an empire of over several multi-million-dollar companies, including a brand new security company that grossed over several $1 million in its first year of inception. I am proof that mind over matter produces results. And if I achieve becoming a millionaire on a police officer's salary, then you can too. It's time to live life on the left side of the menu. Join me for the Vault 365 live training experience on Wednesday, March the 9th, as I discuss how to achieve financial freedom and more.